Hey guys, Dan Hood here, Big DH 2000. Um, I decided to buy some red precise. Hopefully you can see this. The other day, this is the red. Um, I can't remember the exact thickness, but it is very close to the .04-inch latex that we used to be able to buy in a lot of places. That's really hard to find. Um, I just bought red because several people were buying red, and I said, well, let me try the red. Looks about right. Um, I loaded them up on two shooters, a pickle fork, and my standard tournament shooter, the stealth shot. Um, Theraband gold, I normally cut at 1 inch straights, and I start at 12 inch. By the time I'm all said and done, it's at about an active of about 10 and a half, 11, something like that. I pull to about here for my tournament kind of shooting. I've done full butterfly, I've done all of that. So, but anyway, um, I like the anchor point here for most of my more fine shooting. I found that the 1 inch is definitely too powerful for 12 millimeter. You get some slap on it. Well, some uncomfortable slap, shall we say. Anytime you shoot over the top, you're going to get a little slap no matter how well your ammo is balanced. I shoot 12 millimeter, very close to ½ inch. So I stepped it down to 3/4 inch on here, and it's performing quite well at the 12 millimeter. I really enjoy it. Um, a lot of people are saying it does a lot better in the cold. My basement is probably in the 40 degree Fahrenheit right now, which is 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, something like that, 5 degrees Celsius. I don't precisely know, I don't have that on me. I'm finding that the only difference in performance between Theraband Gold and the Red Precise is more because the Red Precise is thicker. When I have an old set of .4 latex, when I use them in comparison to the Red Precise, they're shooting about the same speed and everything. So I think the Red Precise is just it's a little more powerful than Theraband Gold. So anybody who's been using Theraband Gold and uses this in the cold weather, the red in the cold weather, will notice that yes, it does shoot because it's shooting harder to begin with. If you test it based on your summer and your winter performance, I think you'll find there's a drop as well. Maybe not as much as Theraband because thicker material doesn't isn't as affected by the cold as quickly. But if you compare it to .04 latex, I suspect you're going to find the natural latex that we used to use. I think you're going to find it's very close to the same performance. I'm happy with it. Two things of advice I'll give you on this. Um, Red Precise is extremely slick. Okay, I'm finding it to be very slick, even slicker than the old .4 latex. Um, you got to tie it and fold it and tie it again to make sure it doesn't pull out of a tie. If you got ocularis plugs, you got to roughen the plugs with sandpaper to make sure, for those who don't know, the more you use these plugs, the smoother they get just from use. I mean, they get polished. That's basically what's happening as you use them a lot. Take them off, just hit them lightly with I don't know, 220 grit sandpaper, 180 grit sandpaper, 150. Just roughen them up. Maybe even roughen the inside of the hole a bit if you need to, so that these don't pop out. I've almost had one pop out on me before I realized what was going on. I didn't even think to see how slick they were. Um, this is only 3/8 inch thick. The black rubber these are brand new plugs. Everything's staying put, nothing's moving. It's a slick aluminum inside. The rubber plugs are working perfectly. So this is the one it slipped on, and I've used these plugs for going on 8 months now. So they're a little smooth. I roughened them up. Everything's fine now. I didn't even have to roughen up the slingshot, just the plugs, okay? Um, that's my only thing. I enjoy it. I'm shooting it. I like the color. It's easily accessible. As you know, TheraBand Gold is getting harder and harder to find in good condition. Um, I still enjoy Simple Shot Black. I shoot that a fair amount too. Um, Most of my tournaments are in warm weather, so it doesn't really matter. Uh, this definitely has a slight advantage on the Simple Shot Black, but I think that's because of thickness of material. Not sure it's much else. Not sure it has anything to do with the formula. I did notice that this Red Precise did have a little break-in period too. About 10, 15 shots in, all of a sudden it started getting smoother and it started landing where I wanted it to. Very similar to Simple Shot Black. You just got to break it in. Warm it up, break it in, and just like anything, it goes good. Like I said, I think the thickness is more what impacts the weather than anything. So, anyway, just my 2 cents. Having shot a fair amount of different things over the years, um, it's good stuff. If you like it, get it. TheraBand Gold is no longer easy to get, the good stuff, and so we got to find something else. I think I with between this and Simple Shot Black, I think I'm fine. Take care, guys.